Your hand nice and supple, like a lady.
Welcome to the Black Irish Podcast. Hey there, and welcome to an all-new episode of the Black Irish Podcast with myself, Brendan McCorkle, and Mike stuck in Mike Crawford. What's up, brother?
What's going on, Brenda? How you doing this week, man?
I'm doing good. I see you got your little stash going on. Is that fairly new? Because usually you just go strap. Are you doing it for Movember?
No, I usually always have a stash. It's just not connected. Man, look how much attention you paid me, bro.
I was more paying attention to Movember, bro.
What's Movember?
Movember is when men or women could do it, I guess. It's just not attractive. They grow out their mustache to raise awareness for, shitty things in men's health, like
No Shave November.
Yes, Movember for mustache November. That's what white people call it. Movember, because they gotta put stupid names on shit.
I used to do No Shave November, but shit, my shit gets, if I go a whole month without any shaving at all, ooh, that's ugly.
Really? But isn't that what you want eventually? You want the Bin Laden.
Yeah, but I don't want it to be ugly. Like, I want it.
Do you not? Okay, you can not cut it and still manicure it, like take care of it and shit.
No, I don't want No Shave November. I don't manicure. It's just it's just ugly all over the place, man.
No. I was going to do the handlebar mustache because that's like the only thing I could grow in legit besides my standard Joe Dirt fucking French tickler goatee. So, my wife loves it, but I didn't start on time. So I was like, fuck it. We got, I got to do like team pictures and stuff for the little kids and stuff. I don't know, but it's tough at the baseball fields, like with this Movember shit. Because I don't know if people are participating or if these little Mexican kids are just trying to prove their manhood. Like, I walked up, like, I don't know whether to walk up to these people and be like, ask them for a dip or be like, hey, don't forget to use the bathroom before your game. Like, I don't know. It's tough to tell with uniforms and ball caps. That's all I'm saying, man.
There you go, man. No, you really don't be knowing. I get it.
Oh. You do hear a lot of bad words, though, at the ball field. How do you feel about parents replacing bad words? Because we're kind of starting to do it around my house, like...
If it's my kids, you better be trying at least.
Trying to what? Say bad words?
No, replace the bad words, buddy.
Gotcha.
I ain't trying to have my kids hearing that. Look, if I got to replace my bad words at home, you got to do it around my kids out in public.
I don't know. I just, like, if you take away one of the words, you should be able to say a different one and replace. Like, you should be able to say the real bad word.
Don't say anything like blank.
Yeah. And by the way, if you start any word with "fa," just stop, because you're not going to say fabulous. So stop. Any other?
My question is, why is you cussing, especially your kid's age?
No.
8?
I think, yeah, mix 8, Connor's 3. So I think you're getting me confused here. So let's put it this way. So like in my house, we don't like the word fat. So that's an F word in our house. But that being said, I think my kid should be allowed to say fuck if he can't say fat. Because if we redefine what the F word is, quote unquote, then the F word is fat. That means the other word is on the table again. Or you should get in at least like...
F words, Brendan.
Yeah, you should get in like less trouble for it. Like, okay, the S word. Stupid is way worse than shit, in my opinion. I would way rather
shit
have somebody...
To me, it's not a curse word. Shit is just...
That's what I'm saying.
What you do on the toilet. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, okay.
To me, that's not a curse word.
D word. Damn is nothing. So we don't like the word dumb.
You can't say it to me in the wrong context as a child, but it's not a curse word. I'm not going to hold you to curse word standards for damn.
Yeah, exactly. Like dumb, I don't like my kids.
I might want to smack your lips.
Yeah, I don't like my kids calling people dumb. So you know what? Don't say dumb. You can say damn. Not really.
I don't want you using any stuff like that. Dumb, retarded, stupid. I don't want to hear any of that shit.
I don't see the C word in my house is can't. We don't say can't in my house. Number one, because that's not in our vocabulary. Number 2,
No,
cunt
you
is
have
such a
men.
great word. It's a fucking great word, and anybody that says otherwise is just wrong.
We just need to double up at your house. Like you can't. You have 2 C words. You have 2 F words. You
No,
have
no,
2 of
no.
everything.
No. Adults in my house, all adults say cunt. It's just one of those
I'm
things.
talking about adults. Just don't
Yeah.
say it loud enough for the kids to hear. And I'm around. Because
Yeah,
you
of course.
say
But
it in front of Mick when I'm around, we're gonna have a problem.
no. I mean, I might be like, look at that cunt over there, like talking to some idiot doing something wrong. Like that's how you use it, as an imbecile. That's how we use it in our house. Or somebody who is blatantly being disrespectful. What a fucking cunt that guy is. Like it's just so defining. It's such a great word.
I mean, yeah, but you should be able to watch your words around kids.
Yeah,
no matter
that's
what
true.
word it is.
But listen, adults
they're
have a
kids.
huge word issue with that cunt word, the C word.
Oh yeah, I mean, women will kill you if you call them a cunt.
Well, you should never call a woman that word.
Well, some women deserve it. Let's not act like that.
Listen, no. Here's where I fall in the boundaries of what you can say to people. Gender, race, everything goes out the window. Not that you can say derogatory shit, but if you're just talking about a human in general that's misbehaving, you can say words that are broad in spectrum to imbeciles, things like that. Like in different countries, cunt is used as an imbecile. So it's multi-defined.
Okay, what do you use as, if you piss me off, I can say what I want.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying, is if you get to an elevated level of frustration with somebody, they no longer they're just a human in your way.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
Which would be the only time I would actually use the word cunt, because it's not a word that I use, because that's a really harsh word, especially talking to a woman. But with that being
And
said,
look how easy it flows when we talk. I love it.
Yeah, because no one's offended by that word between men.
Yeah. Well, a lot of women aren't either. It's just if you use it in an inappropriate manner, then yeah, it's a fucking nasty word. But if you don't, then it should be oh, come on, get over it. Like, hey, my 3-year-old, he does, he says what the heck, which I don't know how to. We're trying to get him to stop, but it's because my 8-year-old says it. So it's obviously big brother syndrome. It's like, all right, what are you gonna do? But then again, this 3-year-old, he also already, pees off the shit stalactites in the toilet. So like he's advanced for his level. He's just operating on a whole nother realm. Like he's already so advanced in life. Like he just he gets it. He gets it. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Oh, you know who's getting it from the government though? All these fucking small businesses. All these small businesses. So since my wife is so incredibly involved in the corporate world and is very good at what she does, we had a little conversation about all these new COVID protocols and having to have vaccines for anybody entering your businesses and all that kind of shit. And it's just like there's fines attached to all of these, to where if you unknowingly or unwillingly break this cycle of COVID tests, vaccine checks, all this kind of bullshit. Like if the government catches you as a federal law, if they catch you accidentally fucking up this law, I believe it's $65,000 or no, it's $35,000 for the very first offense. And if they just think you weren't being diligent, if they decide you were not being diligent, $165,000, I believe, for a fine. That'll crush a business. Because a small business, number one, this is what the government fucking does, by the way. They give out all these small business loans to make people not freak out in the beginning. But guess what? The government's the same as anything else. They're going to take more than they're ever going to give. And there is a long game that they're playing. Fucking think about it this way. All these parents, all you parents out there that went trick-or-treating with your kids, you didn't go knocking on the doors. Did you take some of their candy? Absolutely. Well, guess what? Government's doing the same shit with all this bailout money that they're throwing. They're going, oh, we'll let you take all that stuff now, but we're taking what we need when we need it. And we'll do it by any means necessary. And it sucks.
Any fucking means necessary.
It sucks because that's exactly what it is. And inflation's up 6.2% in the month of October alone. 6% on already these high prices. And it's because supply and demand, because everybody's getting this influx of cash from the government who's trying to take it back, but supply is so short, the demand is high. Everybody knows exclusivity is expensive. The problem is basic shit is exclusive these days.
Did they not expect the government to get the money back some one way?
Most people don't think about it that way, Mike.
I told you long ago, they're giving you all this money so you can spend it back with them, and they're going to make sure you spend it. How are they going to do that? By raising the damn price on everything. Duh.
Well, not only that, after you run out of your money, they're banking, quite literally, on you taking out loans to cover your shit. And then you're going to be paying interest on all that, and they're getting fed back 3 times over, 10 times over.
Yes.
It's fucking ridiculous.
They got tired of you motherfuckers being smart, buying up them Doge coins and all that Bitcoin when they was giving you money. Instead of doing what they were telling you by spending it, you wanted to save it and buy all this shit up. All right, so we're going to make the basic shit cost more.
That's
so
right.
You ain't saving shit, buddy. Ain't no more Bitcoin. All y'all that got rich off of Dogecoin, you better still have that money later this year, because guess what? Everything costs more now. Listen.
And guess what? Here's the other part.
We live in is
Here's the other part.
Place.
You don't think that the government had some shit to go on with this cryptocurrency bullshit? You realize how many people at the end of this year, the big cryptocurrency boom, are going to get that fucking tax form and go, oh shit! I have to pay $30,000 in taxes because I moved around $10,000 in Bitcoin, or worse, 5. But you moved it 7,000 times, and each time you make a transaction, they're taxing your ass. Listen, the government is the bomb. That should get somebody in federal agency listen to this. We're not saying we're coming for you. We're just saying we're paying attention, all right?
It's just that sometimes they got the people at a certain age where they can just get slashed it in right over your head, and you're just at the age where you're not paying attention just yet, and right before it matters a whole lot. So listen, people, start paying attention a little bit earlier than you always have before. If you thought I was going to wait till like 24, 25 to feel like an adult, no, start feeling like an adult at 21 and understanding what's going on in the world around you, because I promise you it matters. I waited till I was like 30 to start to want to feel like and act like an adult and pay attention to this type of shit. So believe me, people, just pay attention.
I just started 6 months ago. I'm not even joking. I'm not fucking lying. I started paying attention 6 months ago. Because other than that, I just assumed that my job was the only thing I needed to worry about. My job, my life, my family. And the problem is, too many people have that mentality, and they are looking at a micro level and an everyday level instead of a macro level as a collective. And basically, all anybody's got to do as a collective when it comes to money, fucking don't spend it. Tell them to shove it up their ass, get what you need only, and fucking wait on it. Because guess what? That's going to do 2 things. Number 1, it's going to build your bank. Number 2, price is going to drop, so you're going to have twice as much money to buy twice as much shit that you want, that you deserve now, that you've earned. And then you don't have to go taking out loans and fucking, sucking off the government teat, because guess what? While you're sucking on the government teat, they're raping you in the butt. And nobody likes being raped. Right, Mike?
No one wants to be raped, except for the people at Shawshank Redemption. But all y'all that don't know about that, because you always watch the TNT version, sorry for you sarcasms.
It takes a fucking extra hour on TNT, but it's so good you get sucked in.
Yeah, except for you don't get to see the butt rape scene. So,
some people's favorite scenes go unseen. That's just how it goes. But, dude, on the flip side of that shit, so let's talk about big business, all right? Let's talk about the grocery store that I frequent.
So the gas station that just gas has went up in the last, let's say, 3 months, almost a whole $1 and some change. Because they're going to tax the thing that they know, oh, y'all don't want to buy all this shit? Okay, don't worry. Groceries going up, gas going up. What else you need every day that you must have? Because your world's opening back up and now you got to go back to work. Gas wasn't expensive when during the pandemic when nobody wasn't going no damn place. As soon as you got to go places again, what happens? Run it up, buddy. This world is so fucking devious, man.
Well, the other thing about that whole scenario is you get these ding-dongs that are freaking, filling up oil drum cans of gas. Like, everybody's taking shit for themselves and then driving the price up because they're buying it in bulk, you fucking dummies. Take what you need. Like, this is a society, you fucks. Take what you need, leave the rest for everybody else. And there should always be some left over. Always, always, always be some left over. So fucking...
Never gonna be some left over, man.
It bothers
You don't
me.
live in a community where people see stuff and they're like, oh, I'm gonna leave some for the next person. It's like, oh, I see stuff, I'm taking it all.
That's what I'm saying, man. Don't want the whole
And if you
world. Just
want
want
any
my peace.
microcosm of that, we just passed it about a week ago. Halloween. Go walk around and find out all the people who left candy outside and how many times that person just took one piece like they advocated for. Negative. Even if they don't take the whole bowl like we used to, for these kids, handfuls.
Two
At least
handfuls.
handfuls.
Something. Yeah, that was always the rule. Was I'm taking a handful. Bullshit. Like even when I was trying to be respectful, I'm like, come on. It was either that or it was. I used to play a game with my sisters. You know, poor people games. We'd sit at my grandma's front window. I would, me and my two older sisters, and we'd stare out the window, and we would take turns. And cars that drove by, we're like, okay, the next car is gonna be the car you're gonna get when you grow up. And I'd drive by and be like, oh, station wagon, shit.
Yeah, no, everybody play that game. That's
the best game.
That's a good game. Yeah, that is.
And then every now and again, you get some fly car rolling down the street. You're like, what? Like, this is not how life is played, but it's fun to dream.
There you go, buddy.
But, dude, listen. So, how about this? I cut myself at self-checkout. What do you do? I'm straight bleeding from my fingertip. So, like, what happened was I'm checking out at self-checkout. And because the lines are crazy, so I'm like, whatever. I don't like using self-checkout. I like the human interaction. I like all that job security shit. But sometimes I got a schedule to keep. So I went self-checkout. I like put the first thing down, and I go to grab the next thing in the cart, and my like cuticle that's like the lower part, discolored part of your nail for all the men out there that don't know what that is. So I caught that on a bag or like a box in the cart. And so it started bleeding a little bit, but just that fingernail pooling blood syndrome. To where I'm like, oh gosh, what do I do? And it's like the second thing I need to ring up. What do you do in that scenario?
I leave that shit there and go to my car and get a Band-Aid and alcohol swabs because I keep that type of shit in my car because I'm fucking weird like that.
I have that kind of shit in my car, but it's just because, like a baseball emergency kit, I just have that.
Oh, yeah. You probably got the baseball emergency kit, so go fucking clean yourself up.
Well, that's obviously not what I did.
Oh, well, we know that.
So what I did was...
Anybody who knows Brendan knows that's not what he did.
I probably should have just walked back, grabbed a thing of bandages, and wrapped it, but... Dude, I was trying not to freak everybody out, because here's the thing. The cashiers were so backed up, the self-checkout line, there's like 6 people deep. So the good news is there's enough people distracting, everybody looking for who's coming up next. But the problem is everybody's looking at everybody. So I'm like, oh, man, how do I, hide blood from these people so they don't freak out? Because, man, you'll get fucked up. Like, somebody will choke you out for coughing. I'll get stabbed for bleeding in the fucking store. That's a no-doubter. So I'm like, okay, this is bleeding more than I thought. So I shove it in my right pocket. I shove my hand in my pocket, and I do everything left-handed. I wipe it on the inside of the pocket because I have to reach in my other pocket to get my wallet. So I'm wiping. I'm like, okay. I slowly take it out as I turn to hide it, shield my body. Okay, that's good enough. Grab the wallet, and then everything back with the left hand. And people are like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And I'm like, I'm not bleeding everywhere. That's what I'm doing.
That was so much worse than just figuring out a way to go do something with the bleeding. Or
Why?
just bleeding all over the place.
I can't bleed all over the place.
Like a fucking tardy.
I was late.
Now you look pretty tardy and then just moving your body.
You don't like the way my body moves, Mike? Come on, man.
Not when only you trying to use one hand, buddy.
Oh, fuck a duck, man. I psyched myself out, too. By the way, one of the things that I was getting at the store was some fudgesicles, some little 0 sugar fudgesicles. By the way, it's such a great adult treat. I just forget about them. 0 sugar. They're not even that bad for you. So what happened was I did go to get a fudgesicle the other day, and they come individually packaged, but the individual packages come in 2s. You split them in the middle, top and bottom. So, that to me says 1 is for children, 2 is for adults. Okay, that makes sense. That's a proper ratio of fudgesicle. Problem is, I grabbed one, and I got psyched out. There was nothing in the second bag. I got shorted a fudgesicle, and I think that was the popsicle brand telling me to back the fuck off.
That was something, man.
Dude, have you ever done that with a bag of chips, like individual chips, where you open it and there ain't shit in there, and you're like, "What the fuck just happened to my day?"
Happened. Yeah.
That's because it's an individual size, so it's like that was your chips for the day, man. And if you were looking forward to Cool Ranch and they aren't there, ooh, buddy, that's not good.
That's not good. I got to have my Cool Ranch, bro.
How often do you buy shit, come home, and realize you got the wrong shit?
I've done that shit a couple times.
Whether it was your fault,
because I grocery shop on a regular basis, so ain't no way I'm doing that shit for myself when I grocery shop for other motherfuckers as a part-time job. So yeah, but I've done that shit, like grab like fat-free mayonnaise, like just rushing and shit, and shit pisses you off.
Yeah, because they make the labels look the same and shit, and you're just like, man, what? I didn't think I had to read today. I just wanted food.
Yeah, it's like one thing different, like, oh, it's just a big sign on it, but you grabbing it so fast, you ain't think about that shit.
Do you ever take it back?
No, I'm too lazy for that.
What about weed? Has anybody given you the wrong weed?
No, I'm not too lazy for that. I'm going.
See, that happened to me. Weed. That happened to me like last week or something. I was texting you. I'm like, look, man, it's not even fucking worth it at this point. But it was on my birthday. That's what it was. I was like, man, this day cannot get any fucking worse. Even my weed guy's giving me the wrong shit.
Yeah, so I travel far to get good weed. Like I travel all the way to DC from my house in Springfield. It's about 30-minute commute and sitting and wait for them. So it's about an hour trip all in all. Like in full. If I'm coming straight back home, maybe I'm going to hang out afterwards. So. And one day, like, he gave me weed. It was just not what I ordered. Yeah. So I got to, like, order off a menu and some more shit. Mm-hmm. I turned my ass right back around and made this hour trip all over again. Because you go give me what I paid for, buddy.
Did he give you anything
have extra? This shit back that you gave me. Yeah, he gave me, like, another extra $8 for driving back. And he was cool about it.
That's
like,
good.
Bro, that shit don't even save me this gas. But I'm just a man of principle at this point. So give me my shit. Because I paid for it.
All right. Well, speaking of other delicious things, it's waffle time. Can you answer me this? Why would anybody in the fucking world pick pancakes over waffles if waffles are available on the menu?
I have no clue.
Stupid, right? Is it because there's cake in the name so people get confused?
I mean, some people actually like pancakes. I hate pancakes.
Yeah.
I don't know what about it. Even though it's pretty much the same shit.
It's not. It's not. It's way more dense. There's no syrup traps. It's no. After you like waffles with syrup, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, I don't know. You don't fucking drink milk. How do you eat syrup without milk?
What?
Like, I don't know. Syrup and milk just go together.
Yeah, no. Syrup and milk have nothing in the same, like...
I guess as somebody who's lactose intolerant, like, and you just canceled milk from your life, like, it's weird to me that somebody would not contemplate sticking some form of milk with syrup. Because syrup after a while starts to taste like a chick on her period. Like, it just tastes like rust after a while. Like,
ooh, come on, slow it up.
Syrup. It's syrup.
It's
syrup. Waffles
Please
are better than pancakes.
The world how you know what a chick on her period tastes like, sir.
No. I'm not going vampire status on any of that shit. But listen, hey, listen. You're not getting down and dirty enough if you don't have a little pre-period or a little residual effect. Listen.
I'm not down and dirty enough, buddy.
Listen.
Everybody.
No. As like an okay.
Please know.
Listen.
Mike is not down and dirty enough.
Fuck
man.
that, Mike. I will take
a week before
stand.
And a week after rule, bro.
Oh, come on. Do it in the shower, you fucking heathen.
What?
Gosh, bless America, bro.
What?
That's ridiculous. Listen, I'm gonna listen. Now you're making me overcorrect for your bitch ass.
Relationship status.
So you have sex once a month, 1 week a month? That's fucking ridiculous.
No. In a relationship, we can cut it down to 2 days, but we need some break before and after because I don't need you like coming on while we doing it.
First of all, listen. If you get that pre-period smell, like it's coming but it's not there yet, you know, the dam's holding, one of those things, you're already down there. And women are usually super pissy right before their period and just angry. So if they're letting you in there, I mean, what are you going to do? You can't go down there and be like, oh, excuse me, not today, miss. Fuck that noise. Because if you're going down on a chick, that means you're obviously into him. You don't just go down on chicks.
I hear what you're saying. I don't play around with blood, bro. Me and Bud, we ain't even on the same. I don't do none of that.
Yeah, no. I'm not down with actually touching the blood or whatever, but you get that after scent, the pre-scent.
I ain't trying to accidentally come across.
Okay, so what happens if it crosses your whiffer?
Ooh.
What if you're at the belly button and you go?
I'd throw up. I'd like.
No, like as you're going down, as you're crossing, you go from the sun, the moon, and the stars. Then you go down to the peaks and mountaintops, right? Then you go down to the valley. And right before you hit the cliff, you're like, wait a second. This doesn't smell right. What do? You haven't fully committed.
Stop.
Yeah, but do you at least go back up to the sun, moon, and the stars and then put your pee hole somewhere?
You don't keep going down there, buddy.
I know,
Save
but
yourself.
All right, see, so you're saying you're backing out of the entire scenario. I'm saying that you're gonna adjust and finish the job and then maybe take a 3-week hiatus.
If there's a funny smell to me, I'm backing all the way out. I don't even need this no more, buddy.
Then what do you say? I gotta know what you say.
I'll say anything.
What do you get? Walk out
and say, yes, you can. You're grown.
Wait, that's so fucking rude, man. You're not a bad guy like that.
It was rude for her to smell that way. What are you talking about? What? Rude? Are you crazy?
Oh, shit.
When it comes to stuff like that, ain't no such thing as being rude.
I don't know, man. The naked body, somebody letting you touch their naked body on purpose, that's like the most vulnerable thing in the world. That's the last time you want to be rude, brother.
Yeah, someone letting you touch their naked body is a privilege.
Listen, bro,
it is
dude,
also
you don't think you have the stinkiest nuts in the world? Come on, bro.
It is also a privilege for them to have me touching their naked body.
So I 100% agree with that. Listen, I don't believe that anybody gets lucky in a scenario that both people are fully engaged in. That's what it is. You guys are getting down. You guys are both on the same page. Nobody's getting lucky. If anything, you guys both are. Unless you guys do it wrong and then somebody gets hurt. Sometimes
you go down on my balls and it smells sweaty and stinky. You're not just gonna suck my balls. You're just gonna be like, yo,
whoa. All right, now we're going down. Now we're going down a rabbit hole. Because what if it's about a half hour in? Wait, whoa. What if you're like half hour in? What if it's one of those? We're going for it tonight. We're turning on the air, and we're fucking. It doesn't matter what happens, where it is. We'll clean it up later. What about that when you're just in the throes of it?
Listen, you hear me? I promise you, there's no woman, and if there is, she's nasty, and you should probably stop after this one encounter. If you know your balls smell like you've been out all day, they're pretty sweaty, and you with some girl, I don't care. You go home, and your wife ain't having it. So if you're married, it's never happened. Girlfriend, that's never happened. This has to be some random chick. Because you go home to your wife or your girlfriend with stinky balls, she ain't touching that shit. Or your ass is getting in the shower anyway, so she's not worried. So this is not for those type of situations. These are for maybe your random chick, your side, or whatever, those who aren't married, you're on a date and it happens to go that way, or y'all just met or whatever, and so something happens. A girl with any right mind and sense gets down there, it smells, she's stopping. A girl who continues, if you're going to let her continue, let her have fun, continue. But promise me you're going to stop talking to her, bro, because she's nasty. She sucks sweaty balls. So that means this is not the first time she's done it. Please avoid her at all costs. We don't even know what's in her mouth, bro. Like, it's like we're done with that. All right? So just for my people out here, that's just a word from the wise, man. That's a word from Mike for the day. Please.
All right. So you want to know my kind of best friends growing up? one of my absolute best friends. Literally the funniest dude I've met in my life. The best storyteller, I should say, I've ever met in my life. He was a wrestler in high school. This guy is the epitome of your love, okay? He was a middle linebacker. He's the white middle linebacker in high school in Palmdale that everybody loved. There's a reason why they love white little middle linebackers, because those boys are fucking crazy.
Crazy.
And, you know, so that's one of my best buds. So while in the off season, to stay in shape, he joined the wrestling team. Not because he gave a fuck about wrestling. He's like, I get to throw people around and use the weight room.
Any good football coach tells you to join the wrestling team in the off season. Okay.
So
makes sense.
So, and we had a bunch of friends that were on the wrestling team. So it was like, you know, he kind of was familiar with those people through me and our other best friend that we all hung out together. So anyway, after a wrestling match one day, one of the opposing cheerleaders goes with him into the locker room. He drops his singlet at the end of like 5 matches, and she goes to town. That's the nastiest shit I ever heard in that department.
She was disgusting, but you know why she did it? Because he was a star, and that's what you get in high school.
No, he sucked at wrestling. He lost every fucking match. But the other person was always hurt.
Football? She knew he was good at football too, bro. Like, let's not act like she don't know. They do their research. She knew what she was doing. She knew what she was getting into, bro. True. So when I was in high school, I'm not going to use names, but we had our basketball team manager was the same way. She sucked people at halftime. Like, she was nasty.
Basketball team managers dude, the worst were equipment managers. You're like, oh, you were just here for anything. You're here for the bench. You don't give a fuck. You just need to be around tall people.
They were the worst, bro. They were the worst in high school. This girl, man.
And they always were on the track and field team. Like, were they doing everybody on the track and field team too? Because that always was synonymous.
I don't know, man. But, like, the first time my boy told me about it, because, you know, like, I ain't know what she was up to at first. Like, he was, like, trying to holler at her, like, on some. And he got something like halftime. I'm like, bro, we're freshmen in high school, and she's in here knocking people off at halftime, like in the back where you're supposed to be. First of all, why are you back there doing that? We did go undefeated, so it's not like, okay, whatever. But so I'm like, bro, like, you supposed to be listening to the coach. We think you in the toilet. You back there getting knocked off, but it was vicious. So she was vicious. She was vicious with it.
Hey,
after the game.
As long as people are happy and people helping people, I'm totally fine with that. Well,
I don't even want to know what she's up to now. Her mouth is probably absolutely disgusting.
Hey, man. People have dentists. People grow up. People have kids. People have lives. You want people to fucking judge us based on what we were doing in high school? I sure as shit don't.
No, don't judge me. And I'm not judging her. I said I don't know what her mouth is like. I'm more than happy for her. I wish her well. She's probably doing good for herself. She wasn't a dumb girl. She just had a problem with wanting to be with the popular guys. Like, I don't know why you even do such like that's kind of degrading to yourself. Now that I'm 37 and can look back on it. I mean, at 16, I have fun, Mike. Themselves, but at 37, you're like, that's kind of different.
Yeah, but so I get it, Mike. In high school, they could smell your sweaty sack, but no rust bucket action for you. Okay, we're settled. Nope. Just on the basketball team. Well, all right.
It's all the choice.
So sticking to basketball shit, I love Jokic's move on Markieff Morris.
I love it too, and everybody's out here talking about, he pushed him in the back. Yeah. Well, don't turn your back, asshole.
Listen, you can't gut check somebody. Listen, you can't gut check somebody with 2 minutes left on a half court overhead pass, turn around and think this motherfucker's not going to deck you. And he did it correctly. There was a couple minutes left in the game. They were clearly winning. He didn't hit him in the head. He didn't punch. He just checked his ass to the floor. And it was like, I'm bigger than you still. I know you're an asshole. I'm still bigger than you. But by the way, the other thing I love about it, the thing I like more, Jimmy Buckets. He's like, hey, I ain't going no fucking where. I'm like, give me that man. Give me that man.
I like the most, family over everything.
That's right.
His brothers went and made a Twitter page to say,
yeah.
yeah, motherfuckers, come on with it. We're at the next game, and we'll be sitting front row. So if y'all want smoke, we got our brothers back.
See?
Smoke will be in the building, and they've already posted that they got front row tickets to the next Nuggets Heat game. Jimmy Buckets, you want some of this? Come on, he's got two big ass brothers, and don't worry, they're from foreign countries, so they've been fighting all their lives.
Yeah.
Want some? Come get some. Don't worry, buddy. And they didn't even have Twitter before last night or the other night. They literally made a Twitter page called the Jokic Brothers just to respond to the Marquise Morris twin who said some shit on Twitter because they are about that life, buddy.
Fuck yeah,
so
dude.
Don't think anything's going down with their brother. They will be there to fuck shit up on the court.
That's the thing is Jokic is just kind of like a laughable, goofy guy, whatever. And then as soon as somebody fucks with him, he goes, "Wait a second. Excuse me. No."
Like, I'm not no punk.
Yeah.
I go about this shit in a
Motherfucker,
nice
do you know what I had to survive? Like, I know you had to go through some shit too, but you know what I had to do to get here? Excuse me.
We go through, it's a different. It's a little bit of different.
And it was really fucking cold too.
Yeah, so, like, bro, y'all better relax. Fighting is not fighting. Shit, we did that shit when we woke up in the morning for fun.
Yeah.
Come on, fight. Like,
that was practice for in case you got in a real fight later.
Yeah. Like,
you practice on each other.
Do you see the size of us? Like, we practice on each other. You think we worry about you little dudes? Yeah, right.
Fuck that, dude. Oh, so speaking of shipping up and shipping out, what about fucking Ben Simmons? What's going to happen?
I don't know, man, because he's gonna. So he signed with the fucking punk ass LeBron agency, and they have the way they go about doing things. But I just think he's gonna have to play to get traded. I don't think nobody's gonna trade for him based on everything that's went on since he's last played. Like nobody's been able to see what his real value is, so he's not able to show off his value, and nobody's just off his last value like last year. That's the reason why you're fucking being traded now, is because everybody thought you stuck in the playoffs. So it's like you're not doing anything to improve that value. So somebody just has to trade based on the fact that they think you'll return, or even though you didn't really fall that much off, you didn't do anything that you haven't done. It was just a big stage, so it looks worse.
And that's the other thing. The team that needs a trade for him is somebody who's not going to ask him to do more than he's good at doing. Like, hey, you know, and I thought
the Portland move was so perfect.
Right fucking there, man. Right there.
Because you literally can go there and do exactly what you like to do. You can distribute the ball at the point guard.
Take all the pressure off, too, because you got a legit superstar.
Exactly. Dame is happily going to the 2 guard and just scoring. Like, he doesn't want to play point guard for real. He's forced into that role. Because CJ definitely ain't going to pass the ball. So it's like, on defense, you can guard the best player. Dame will happily go find some little piece of shit to guard in the corner. Go ahead. You want to play defense on the good motherfuckers? Go ahead, then do your thing. And on offense, you can do what you want to do. You can pass and run your little cuts and get easy layups off of Dame's doubles. Like, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And
we've had this discussion.
Everybody knows that Portland's not winning the championship with Dame and CJ, so it's the perfect way to break up Dame and CJ. You get another superstar return. CJ goes where he fits in perfectly. Shoot the ball. Pass it to Joel. He kicks it out to you. Shoot. You make shots, McCullum. That's what you do. Like, it is so perfect trade, and yet y'all don't want to make it happen.
Here's the thing. Ben Simmons also has a huge role in this, because if he doesn't want to get traded to certain teams, this is what NBA stars do these days. This is just what I've seen over the last few years, is they're starting to go, oh, you're going to trade me? I'm going to become untradeable. So I'm just not going to do anything because I don't know where you want to trade me. And then I'm going to get my agent to do some backwork fucking deals to get me to where I need to go, where I want to go. I'll sit down with them, have a real conversation about my real commitments and how blah, 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 my loyalties will lie with wherever I go. And then they work that shit out a year later, sometimes a couple months later.
Until people start handling like Philly's handling on a regular basis and say, okay, well, look, this is what we're going to do. You don't come, we're taking your money away. We're just not just going to give you money to be nice to you because you're a superstar and we want you back. No, we're not going to do that dick sucking shit. Like, he's a superstar. He's a
star. He's not a superstar. To me, superstar is like top 5.
He's not top 5, but he does everything.
And then star is 1 to 20 or 25.
Well, if we're that, he's not even that as far as player caliber.
Then how is he a superstar?
When I say superstar, I mean he does He gets accolades. He's well known. He puts fannies in the seats. When you're a superstar, you have to do that.
Yeah, no. I'll quote Megamind on this one. The difference between a villain and a supervillain is presentation. That's the thing that Ben Simmons is not. That's why he's not a superstar. He's not entertaining. That's the difference between stars and superstars.
I can give you that. He's not very entertaining. He's a pretty boring guy. So I'll give him star status. We won't give him superstar. He's a star.
And like I said, that's my definition of superstar in the NBA is like top 5.
Because he doesn't really put fans in the seat. I kind of stress that. Nobody go to the game.
People buy his jerseys. I'll give you that.
They do, but because he's.
But people aren't coming
to
come see Ben pass. That's not why they're going to see Philly games.
Yeah, he's not popular.
Well, all right. So, listen, I have a wild idea for you, and I know it doesn't make sense with any of the contracts and shit, but just hear me out on these wild fucking ideas. What if in the NBA, specifically just the NBA, we made everybody a free agent in 2024? Everybody can sign with whoever the fuck they want to. Salary cap is still in place. And if you have remaining years on your contract, but you sign with somebody else, that's the minimum that you're guaranteed. If they want to give you more money, fucking assalamu alaikum. Take it. But otherwise, everybody just starts fresh because the NBA is so bullshit with, like, players not wanting to be traded when they aren't performing for a certain team. And that's, unfortunately, with the NBA, since there's only a starting 5, it's very easy to pick out who's kind of, there's only a few people to select from. So if there's 5 or 6 people at all times that want to get traded, I mean, that's 15% of the league.
But a lot of these people don't want to get traded until it's perfect for them. So as much as I'm for player empowerment and player movement, a lot of it is, I want to get traded because I don't want to be at this team, but I also want my money. Like, you can't have it both ways, bro. I respect Zion. I respect what Zion's doing. Zion is pretty much sitting out now because no one can make me believe that he just randomly waited to get this surgery and now he's hurt. No. He did that on purpose because he doesn't want to play with the Pelicans. So he's going to sit out most of the season, if not all. This summer, when they offer him the rookie minimum deal, he's not going to take it. That's cool. He's going to lose a couple dollars in that process. But this is his way of saying, I don't want to play here, and I'm going to do everything I can to not be here. Well, on the other hand, it's Ben Simmons who said last year when they offered him, he knew he didn't want to be there last year, right?
That's what I'm saying.
And then on top of that, you know what I'm saying? He came back, he took their money, and then wants to do this. No, you can't take their money and do this. So if you don't want to pay, it's going to be on their terms, period. Yeah,
that's why I vote for whatever they do to get things going. Start a petition? I don't know. That's old.
No, what's going to happen? What he's leading, what he's going to make happen is the next collective bargaining agreement. There's going to be something about people like him. There's going to be something to avoid shit like this for him, James Harden, Kyrie, who are making this shit happen and making this shit look crazy.
Just make everybody a free agent 2024, man. Let's figure it out. Start from scratch with a new CBA. And fucking let's move forward. But let's at least start from scratch.
Whenever the CBA is up, the owners are going to fight because even though they're not losing money, they're losing money.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, the Nets are losing money because they're not as good as everybody expected them to be because Kyrie's not here. They're going to lose money because they're not going to be as good as anybody because no one, I don't care how much they feel about Ben Simmons, you're not a better team without Ben Simmons and not having anybody to replace that time and defense and scoring. He did average 15 and 8. So, without anyone filling those shoes, you're not as good. And just all these people who do this just randomly wake up and say, look, you know what? Y'all are not doing enough for me to make me championship caliber. Instead of looking in the mirror and be like, yeah, I made it to the Western Conference Finals and I lost in 6 games. So how the fuck can I get better to take it over 6 games and win that series?
I know it's radical, but I like my idea. If you put all the power in the players' hands and the owners, because then the owners, hey, everybody gets what they want. If you can convince 5 of the best guys to fucking come to, Memphis, let's do this shit, Memphis. You know what I mean? Which, by the way,
that would never happen, and that's why they would never do it, because it's cities like Memphis and Sacramento that would end up with.
They already.
Fox.
Well, see, listen. You keep sleeping on Memphis. Have you been watching them?
No, not Memphis, the team, the city. No one permanently wants to go live in Memphis. The people that they have on their team, they drafted.
The team that would be in Memphis would be like Scalaberry if he was still playing. Like all the white people would go to Memphis.
Yeah, no one wants to like purposely sign up to be in Memphis.
Just call him
only person that's going to stay there because he's a pretty loyal guy is Ja will probably re-sign there. He's a loyal guy.
Yep.
And Jaren Jackson just re-signed there because they're the only people that were going to offer him $100 million if you've been hurt 2 of your first 4 years in the league. I don't understand how you got that contract, but I'm not going to go on that so much.
Unfortunately, and that's the problem with these lower market teams is the teams like Memphis, like Sacramento, they have to overpay for dog shit players. That's why they're always going to suck.
I'm not going to call them dog shit.
Okay. Yeah, that's a little aggressive.
Most people get offered their max extension.
They have to
overpay
to keep people. They have to overpay to keep people.
They do. They have to overpay to get people too.
And that's my point. That's why they're always going to suck.
Yeah. But I think Memphis is good enough where they know who their maxes are. Like they know who they're going to max out. Because Ja's going to be, as long as Ja stays as good as he is, he's going to be your max player and you try to find other max players. But then you have your pieces where you can semi-max them, but they're not going to require the full max. Like, what's number 24? I can't think of his name from Oregon. I can't think of his name right now, but he's pretty good. And then they just got Valanciunas for not a max.
They're good. Yeah, like
and the crazy thing is they just re-signed him for $30 million a year, and that's not max dollars. You know what I mean? Like that's not max dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot of money, but that's not max dollars. And then they just re-signed Jaren Jackson. He's got the max, which baffles me because he's been hurt for 2 seasons. Yet, but we know why it happened. Not to bring this up on our show, but Sarvers seemed to come out and now they're investigating him for being semi-racist. So, whatever. And his misogynist stuff, because it makes no sense that he didn't offer DeAndre Ayton the max. Like that makes no sense.
Dude. Yeah.
When Jaren Jackson got the max in Memphis and he's been hurt for 2 years, and DeAndre Ayton was your second best, third best, second and a half. I'll see. You can rate him and Chris Paul.
Well, listen, it depends on what style of game it was that they happened to be playing that night, because it was either Booker's Booker, and then either Paul or Aiden stepped up. And then when they both stepped up, it was like fucking good night. Yeah.
But like he's top 3 players on your team, and you're not offering him the rookie max, the max that everybody usually just gets on the table.
I'm a huge fan of his. Huge fan.
No question asked, but this is the max that everyone gets. Like no question asked. If you're decent and you were selected in the top 10, like you get offered your full max into your second contract. Like,
it's assumed.
Yeah, it's just assumed. Like Reggie Jackson got the full $85 million max when his contract was up at that time, and he was never been really good. Like everybody gets this max if you're decent and was selected high in the draft. Most first round picks get offered that second contract. Like it's just natural, unless you were really bad.
Yeah, that's
and you're getting offered, and y'all just went to the finals. He did offer it to you. I'd be out of there. I wouldn't even next year when they offer me again after having a good season. I wouldn't take it. I'm telling them no. Yes, I would. That's why I could never probably. That's probably why I never made it, because I would take a lot of shit personal. Like I would, because I was totally on. Yeah, I would be that guy, man. Like, oh, y'all don't want to give me the money when I want it. Fuck you.
You are 100% the guy that will spend $20 to get $1 back. To go, that was my fucking dollar. Yeah. I know. Not the same way.
When I order, because I have the Eat Pass with Uber Eats, like I'll spend extra money to get the $5 off. Yeah, so that's me. But anyway, it's like it just blows me. Like Kirk Cousins, they did the same shit he did to the Redskins. Oh, so y'all gonna make me play a prove it deal? Cool, I'm gonna prove it for $25 million. Then I'm gonna tell you fuck you and go get another $80 million because I don't want your money.
Yep, dude. All these contracts are just so incredibly bogus. They're wild. Did you catch UFC 268? That shit was wild.
I caught Usman.
Usman, yeah, that was a good fight. They were all good fights, actually. Most of them were good fights. Yeah,
I wasn't expecting Usman to be that good, but he's the man. I wasn't expecting a good fight.
But, dude, so Bruce Buffer, I'm pretty sure he wore his jacket inside out for the first announcement, the first fight, because on the main card, because then the next 4, it was like totally different. So did you catch the Purdue game on Saturday? Any of the Purdue game?
Yes.
Okay, so did you see the stupid color changing, like the color changing car thing that they had on the P?
No.
Like, it's the color if a car drives by and it's green, then it's purple,
Yeah,
then
I
it's
know what
blue.
you're talking about.
So they had that on their helmets. That was Bruce Buffer's jacket. I think it was the interior lining, and he had it on inside out. Because for the rest of them, he swapped it out. Either that or a producer was like, what the fuck is that? Get it off the screen.
He went Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Get him something else, man. But so, Michael Chandler, valiant effort, lost. Marlon Vera beat the shit out of Frankie Edgar, so that was fun. Alex Pereira, I think, is like this. Joe Rogan was so fucking huge on this best kickboxer in the world guy, even though he's like 40 or some shit. And he was looking like he just kept like, yeah, maybe this guy, you know, he's kind of getting wrestled around a little bit. You know, the guy's taking him out of his element. And then it was like, oh, he got a little space. What crack? Knee right to the face. Guy was out. He was like, yeah, I don't wrestle. I just wait until I'm ready, and then I'll knock his head off. And you're like, oh, shit. And then there's an Irish dude, Ian Gary, who came. He had like a great post-fight presser thing with Joe. I would highly recommend, you know, checking it out. It's only like a minute or something like that. But, you know, he quotes out Connor a little bit, but also is like, look, we're going to do this the right way. We're going to do it with some respect, that kind of a deal. So I'm like, all right, man. And he's like, hey, look, I'm 23 years old, and I'm telling everybody right now, I'm coming. I'm like, fuck yeah. I like this guy. I'm on board, Ian Gary. And then I was actually, funny enough, I was on the phone with one of my best friends who lives up north, and we were watching the fights together because we bet on them. So, you know, we're going pick for pick, which we normally don't get to do. Usually we kind of text before, and it's like whatever the results are, they are. So we actually got to do that this time. And I fell asleep during the Namajunas fight, which I won the bet, which was great, but I was probably a terrible phone partner. And so that one was a split decision. So I don't know if it was a good split decision or a bad split decision, because sometimes those ones are like, it was so boring, who do we pick? You know what I mean? So, and then obviously Usman just fucking, you know, he's the fucking man.
He is, man.
He is the man.
He's just retired because no one can beat him.
Oof, not right now. Give it 6 months. Just saying, man, you never know.
He's the new John Paul Jones. I mean, he's the new John Jones.
Yeah, but he's
John
nice.
Bones Jones. Yeah, he is.
Usman's very nice, but he is fucking. It's like he's super nice, and then there's sometimes in an interview.
I wish him and John Bones Jones fought the same weight class. I'd love to see that.
Well, not now.
Why not? What's wrong? John Bones Jones ain't losing that fight.
You can't dude. The generational gaps in the UFC and MMA in particular are like 3 years. Like you get prime for 3 years.
Jones is still good. Like his last fight, he kicked ass.
But you're saying John Bones Jones is still good versus Usman, who's the fucking best right now, pound for pound. So like, just because he used to be the
John
pound for
Bones
pound,
Jones would be in that consideration if he wasn't a fucking cokehead. His last fight, he kicked ass. Like every fight he fights,
and he wasn't even ready for it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He kicks ass. People just like, oh yeah, you're a crackhead, so we're not gonna like appreciate you. Yeah. Even though, wouldn't that make you worse at fighting?
Yeah. Well, it depends.
It probably gives you a little bit of more like steadiness about it. Like you focused on the fight off of coke. But if you're smoking like crack is like a fucking like low down bottom drug, bro.
Listen. Allegedly, like if you were to be a regular coke user and then you timed it to where you just didn't do it for a few weeks to where you could get the withdrawals out, like your nerves are used to being on high alert. So if you don't have anything in your system forcing you to be on high alert and you walk in the cage, you're like, oh, I'm just fighting this motherfucker? You can be cool as a cucumber, bro. As mellow as your pea is yellow, as we say in the business.
There you go. There you go, buddy.
Oh, so did you hear that Frank Gore and Darren Williams are going to fight?
Yes.
All right.
People do anything. Y'all made so much money in your lives. Why are you doing this?
I know. And the worst part is it's on a Jake Paul undercard. So you have to support that bullshit in order to watch this. And my man is Frank Gore. That is my guy.
That's my guy too. He's
I
from
know.
You know that's my guy. But this is beneath you, Frank. And you just retired last year, so it can't be money. For you, I can see it still being a competitive thing. But I don't see that from Derek Williams because you've been retired for 12 years. So
and you weren't exactly the biggest guy.
Like, who are you trying to compete with? And you've made hundreds of millions of dollars, so it can't be a money thing.
Listen.
Like, you got $100 million contract under your belt. All of that. So come on, buddy.
From what I read on the Frank Gore side of it, and it was brief, I just kind of skimmed through because I was like, what the fuck is this? And I kind of scrolled down a little bit. And basically, Frank Gore, he's been getting calls all season to come back. Even as like, dude, we know you've been training for this fight. We know you're in good shape. Come to camp. And he's like, no, I'm committed to this fight. Talk to me next year. I'm retired. You can still call next year, but don't even bother. I'm fighting. I'm like, all right. I can appreciate that because Frank Gore does have that kind of tough. He's like, he sets his mind to a goal and then he goes after.
Yeah, he does.
People don't realize that he's what, second on the list in rushing yards or third all time?
Second or third, yeah.
Like, he just puts his mind to something and he goes. He does. And
yeah, he wanted to play 20 years. He did it. I'm not mad at that. I get it. I love the youth. So I'm a Frank Gore fan. I just think this is beneath you. But y'all want to go out there and fight. If y'all really didn't like each other, it'd be one thing. Like, y'all don't have no problem. Just say, this is a football player and a basketball player. Like,
that being said,
really
I hope it lasts 20 seconds and Frank Gore hits him with 2 lefts and 1 right and drops his ass.
He's light-skinned, so he's probably going down.
He was never big in the first place, and I'm sorry, basketball is not like running into 300-pound defensive linemen. Gore can take a punch, and you probably can't. So even if they're going blow for blow, Frank Gore's going to stand there laughing. And Darren Williams is going to go, hey, man, don't hand check me so hard. Fuck that, dude. Hey, he's going lights out.
Except for the fact, Darren Williams is from the south side of Chicago.
He is yeah, he's I mean, he did have a little bit of attitude with him, so I understand that he could probably hold his own.
He was just raised different. When you're raised on the south side of Chicago, it's just a different world. Man.
I understand that. I'm just saying,
give him that much.
Physically.
With that being said, I want Frank Gore to knock his whole teeth out.
Yeah, that's my guy.
I'm not
back.
Yeah, that's where I stand. But when people's upbringing and where you raised, it kind of because you have to fight. Like he's probably been in a lot of fights, if not shot at. Like
yeah, exactly.
I mean, like
probably simultaneously.
There you go. So I'll give him that credit, but I want Frank Gore to knock all his teeth out.
All right. Well, are you going to give me credit for the passing leader in the NFL? The guy that you said is not going to do dog shit is now the passing leader in the NFL with 27.
Are you going to give me a credit for what I said? Because he is now questionable for Sunday. I told you it was coming. I told you it was coming, buddy. It's coming.
It's coming. He's still on pace to beat the bet by 700 yards. That's 2.5 games. Maybe 3
is to miss a game and have a couple bad games, and he's right on pace to lose. And this is just one game miss, and you got to realize it's not even cold yet. He hasn't played outside in the cold. Don't worry, those days. This is.
Oh yeah. By the way,
it's the dog days of the league.
No. By the way, Mr. Sean McVay, who runs the ball first, blah blah blah. All this shit's gonna happen in cold weather. You know what else Sean McVay loves to do with all his stupid motions and everything? Dump passes. That's his favorite shit. Boop. Right here. I know you're open. Take the ball and run. Boop. I know you're open. Take the ball and run.
You don't have those type of receivers anymore, man.
But you do have Darrell Henderson, and that's his fucking jam. And I know you want him to get those points, so suck a butt.
That's my guy.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, you lost.
Yeah.
You need a new team name.
Yeah, what did you name my team?
We need to change. Well, I had a few options here, so I got. I mean, the obvious one. The obvious one was Brendan's bitch, but that's just come on, man. That's too on the nose. That's just too on the nose. I almost doubled your ass up in fantasy points. That's embarrassing, sir. So
it's because Dak had a stink ass game, bro. You didn't almost double. I don't think it was that. Was it that bad? I didn't go back and look.
Yeah, you had about. I don't know, 90 points or so. No, 80. I think you had 86, and I had, or 89. I had 156 or something like that. It was close. It was close enough. But I mean that puts you way down. You got a long road ahead of you. Should I change your team name to Null and Void? Like you just don't.
I'm only in 7th place. I only got to be in the 6th to make the playoffs. I'm only 1 game back, and my team is getting healthy. While everyone else has been riding on their high horse. Here comes Russ. Here comes Dak. Here comes CD. Here comes Michael Thomas. Don't worry, we're gonna get healthy at the right time. Don't worry. I'm not worried about you guys. I tell you one thing: nobody in this league wants to see Dak and Russ show up on their part across from them come playoff week 1.
Well, I promise you that. Listen, dude, I don't have to worry about that because I'm in first. You're not going to make the playoffs with your Gabrick collective there. So
watch me. Watch me. Everyone who watches us on a regular basis, please quote me on this. I will make the playoffs, and in week 2 of the playoffs, I'm going to kick Brendan's ass for what he did to me this weekend because he kicked my ass.
If, for whatever reason, you somehow convince everybody in my family to drop all the games to you, you're not making the playoffs. But if for some reason you do and we face each other in the playoffs, you best believe we're doubling down on some shit. We are going balls to the wall.
We are going balls to the wall because I need my lick back, buddy. And I'm making the playoffs, buddy. I only need to move 1 spot. I might still be. Matter of fact, let me check because the way our league is set, I might still be in the 6th spot. So no, I don't even know.
You're in the 7th spot. You're in the 7th spot with Dax Dingleberries. That's your new team name, is Dax Dingleberries.
Oh, you didn't change it because I don't see that, but
not yet. No, this is the big reveal. Dax Dingleberries. Listen, Dingleberries is a very underrated curse word, okay? It's literally some of the worst stuff ever. It's a piece of shit hanging from a butt hair next to your asshole. That's old and crusty. It's the worst fucking thing you could be.
Yeah, I'm 1 game out. I'm 1 game out, buddy.
Of 6th. You're 1 game out of 6th, Mike. Finish the sentence.
Playoffs is all that matters. Playoffs is all that. Once we get to the playoffs, everybody's slated 0-0. It doesn't matter.
Except for first place, who I currently am. I get a bye week. All I got to do is coast to a bye week. Because right now, I'm still 2 up on 2nd place. I'm 8-1 right now. What are you? 3-6?
I'm like 3-6 or some shit.
Okay. That just goes to show you the domination that I put on this league. Okay? And by the way, for any kids out there that are listening, you shouldn't be, but if you are, start saying Dingleberry. You can't get in trouble for it. It's like the most underrated curse word ever. But if you hear your kids start saying Dingleberry, then fucking hang out with them and watch the show together on YouTube. You guys got something in common. Come on, laugh it up together. All right, well, if you're not watching us on YouTube, what are you watching these days?
Man, I don't know. But you need to be watching us on YouTube because we are fucking hot. All right, man. What am I watching? Hey, look, you know what? Right now, I'm not even going to lie. I don't watch much else with sports. Sports is fucking everywhere right now. We got college football, college basketball, pro football, pro basketball. Like, it doesn't get... And I'll even sneak in some Ovi if I have time. So it's lit right now.
But you do absolutely have your vices when it comes to television.
I absolutely do. And I watched The Harder They Fall.
Dude, all right. So let's take a couple minutes on that real quick. I fucking loved it. It's the best Western. Dude, it's the best Western.
It's like a black Western. How fucking lit was that?
It's the best Western that I've been a part of, and I've stayed at least 3 of them. So, no, it's honestly fucking finally, man. They redid a Western that was good. Like, not redid, I'm sorry. They did a Western that was good instead of all this just half-ass bullshit, man. They didn't commit. Because at first I even texted you, I was like, about to watch it like 2 hours and 20, like, damn. But that's a traditional Western. Yeah. They're telling you a long story, man. Like, if it's well done, like when they're at the parts in the story where it takes time to go long distances, they keep you on that ride with them. So that's because you gotta kind of struggle with these people on their journey to this fucking whatever awfulness they're about to embark on, you know? So it's the elapsed time is very intentional in Westerns, which I did appreciate. And just the fact that obviously with who produced it, the soundtrack was the shit. Fucking amazing soundtrack, obviously. Like the opening, you're like, okay, I'm in, always. Like the opening scene and the opening like credit songs, everything, you're like, fucking nobody talk to me for 2 hours. I'm busy. It was so fucking good, dude.
Who knows how to drive a train?
Oh, good.
Come on.
So good. So good.
Hey, look, I'll tell you, I don't even watch Western for real. I love that. I love that movie, man. I love that movie. I love all the killing. Sorry, I'm giving some away.
It was nah, dude. It's such a good modern take on an old style genre. It's just fucking so well done. I can't wait to rewatch it too, because I actually love westerns. Maestro loves westerns, so I grew up watching those. So I mean, Outlaw Josie Wales, that's it for me. As far as like the western movies go, if you haven't seen it, Mike, especially you, I highly recommend it.
Send me the text of the name. I'll give it a watch. And I started BMF. I'm gonna go ahead and be honest. The acting is so fucking bad.
It's really bad, dude. You know what's so funny is you took me out of it after we had the last conversation about it, because I'm like, yeah, the acting isn't great, but it's like the story is kind of fun and like the writing is good and like the backdrops and shit, it's all cool. And then I went to watch the next one, and I'm like, oh, I haven't watched one since. Thanks a lot.
And here's why I'm caught. Like, here's the rock and the hard place I'm caught between, because I want to see 50 succeed. Clearly, I want him to do well. I want him to but like, since the first show, the acting has gotten worse and worse. But that's also because he's going younger and younger with his cast, so the acting is. And I understand what he's doing, because monetarily, you make more money paying people less. I get it. But 50 Cent, you have 1,000 shows. You have at least 4 shows right now.
Listen, though.
So, like,
yeah, I know. He has his, like, he just is half a stars. That's 50 Cent. Yeah. But listen, the other thing, too. But the thing about ABC. Yeah, but the thing about the young actors is if they're planning on doing spin-offs, which 50 Cent is known to do, or continuing a story after he's like, oh, that, like, he usually, like, okay, he'll do 3 or 4 shows at a time, pick 1 or 2 that really pop, and then they keep making those shows and others die off. So if he hires young actors, they can keep this cycle going for a lot longer than if they hire older people who are like, oh, I'm famous now, fuck you, I'm out of here. You know, they get people, they're like, listen, make this the franchise, and then you go do whatever you want. You know, that kind of a...
And that's what he did. He got spin off for everybody. I get it, but like, bro,
yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah, it definitely got progressively worse, and you opened my eyes to that. And then I couldn't not recognize it. Then I couldn't look past it, you know, because at first I was kind of looking past it, and then it was like, all right, well, thanks a lot, buddy. Well, you know what you can watch that I just started watching the other day? I didn't even realize it was on local TV. Bernie Mac show's on syndication.
Oh, yes, it is.
I fucking love that. I was like, where's this been? So I got down on some Bernie Mac the other day while I was doing like house chores and shit. I fucking love that show, dude. Love that show.
Oh. Bernie Mac's a funny dude. R.I.P. to the Max.
Did you ever watch the show or no?
Yeah, I watched it. I've seen it. Most of it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Bernie Mac's always been funny. But
Bernie
the little
Mac's
girl on there is funny. That girl, his like niece. She's a funny girl.
She's hilarious. Yeah, the Jordan kid, the boy character, that's annoying as fuck, bro. I know that he had to be that way, and that's kind of how he was in real life a little bit, but still. Ugh. I guess that's why that show worked, man. I've always loved Bernie. He's great. I got to work on one of his movies one time back in the day. The one with Ashton Kutcher, where he's the son-in-law.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
I forget what
that was. My movie, bro. That's a funny movie.
That's
a funny movie.
So he's a manager at a bank. Yeah? You remember this?
Yeah.
So his office in the bank, I worked for the glass company that built out that office. We did a lot of studio work back in the day. So that was the first time I got introduced. The Maestro and I had to do gimbal frames, because the Maestro is the Maestro for a reason. He could do all this shit. And if nobody's done it before, give it to him. He'll figure it out, because he knows how to do shit proper. And I was his right-hand man. So we got this stuff, and it was like, the reason for it is just top and bottom pins on machine screws. So it's when you wouldn't get glare on the cameras. So it's like you have this full giant panel of glass that weighs hundreds of pounds. But once they get all the cameras set up so they don't get reflections and anything like that, you just tip the window just like a half an inch one way or another just to skew the angle. So it still looks dead on, but you actually don't get the reflection. Kind of cool. And then that just became a fucking industry standard. So,
however long you would help me. So if I ever had to do Squid Games, I'm taking you, because you can get me, the glass.
Oh, well, I still haven't watched Squid Game, so...
Oh, you haven't watched it? I forgot you haven't watched it. That made no sense to you. Anybody listening knows what I'm talking about.
Listen, Half the shit we say to each other doesn't make sense. That's okay. That's part of the fun. Oh, so you know what? Another part of the fun this week is Trey Cash and Aerosmith. Check out our playlist on Spotify. I really like it. Aerosmith had to kind of, sorry, Joe Perry, you got teamed up with Run
Trey
DMC.
Cash.
How do you feel about Trey Cash?
It's been a long time.
Has it?
Since I've heard the name. Yes.
I want to know your feelings though, because it's like every third or fourth, I fucking bum you out with somebody.
No, you didn't bum me out. It's just like surprised. Like I haven't heard the name in a while. I don't have no opinion on it. I mean, it's decent music.
Yeah. Well, it pairs well with Aerosmith, my friend. Just so you know. You know what else pairs well with any day of the week? Black Irish Podcast, baby. So be sure to check us out on YouTube if you like, or wherever you podcast to listen. Follow us on Instagram at Black Irish Pod, at Black Irish 213 for Mike, and at Brandallis7 for me. Follow my stories if you want to be a part of the show. All right, man. On that note, you know how much I love you.
Love you too, bro.
Everybody, be good to each other. Peace.